For decades, we've seen PPM customers struggle with the challenging yet vital aspect of PPM implementations, which is system integrations. So we've decided to tackle it with this new product called Spot, which is short for Simple PPM Orchestration Tool. Irrespective of use cases, size, or usage profile, we think that by the end of this demo, you'll realize the Spot product can more than readily handle your integration needs. When customers purchase and implement PPM, they usually do so in an IT landscape of other applications that also have a relevant PPM function, possess relevant PPM data. For example, you may have resource data in an HR system such as Workday, or you may have project financial information in a system such as SAP. PPM is really never an island unto itself. So there is this need to integrate these external systems with PPM. The primary benefits of doing so include improving your business processes so that users don't have to traverse multiple systems to get the data they need, thus saving time and money. With all the information in the consolidated repository, users get that real-time visibility to make quick business decisions. Now, how do you usually go about creating these integrations? There are three primary methods, and they include custom scripts, web services, and third-party tools, and there are drawbacks to each approach. So with custom scripts, these are generally not recommended by Micro Focus as they may introduce possible data corruption issues and are not reusable. Micro Focus prefers to use their web services. However, they require a high level of effort and expertise to implement correctly. They're also generally not reusable. Third-party tools such as TaskTop are very generic and they lack PPM-specific knowledge for your PPM-centric integration. They're typically very expensive and have a high learning curve. So we decided to create Spot, which again is short for Simple PPM Orchestration Tool. We designed it to be a one-stop shop for almost any type of inbound PPM integration. You configure the solution using Excel, yet you may trigger it externally. It leverages proven components from products developed by PPMetrics throughout the years and have been deployed worldwide. We designed a solution with a few facets in mind. They include simplicity, completeness, flexibility, and safety. Simplicity. Spot can be installed in an hour or less. It allows you to create complex integrations without any type of coding. It leverages the familiar and powerful Excel UI. Integrations may be executed in a fully automated mode. Flexibility. Spot inherits PPM configurations automatically. It supports all common data sources, so for example, other databases, flat files, XML. It supports user-defined mappings, and data loads can be run ad hoc or on a scheduled basis. Safety. Prior to Spot loading the data, it validates all data based on PPM's logic. It also utilizes Micro Focus connectors and APIs for all its updates. Before doing actual data load, it allows you to actually simulate the data load, and all updates are audited. Completeness. Spot supports data load to all PPM objects. Some examples include financials, resources, timesheets, and users. So let's take a look at the high-level architecture of the Spot solution. On the left-hand side, we have our multitude of data sources that may include Oracle, SQL, XML, Excel, etc. Prior to loading data into Spot, the data can also optionally be transformed. The actual configuration integration is actually done within Spot. Once you've set that up, you can actually then push the data into PPM. You can invoke the actual push through Excel itself or through an OS job or a PPM report. Let's go ahead and see Spot in action. In order to configure the integrations, and if needed to edit the data before the load, I simply use Excel. I'm going to go ahead and log into my standard PPM credentials, and if PPM supports single sign-on, then Spot will also support single sign-on. So Spot only has two tabs. Down below, I'll click on Notepad. So this is empty and unlocked. It allows me to use it in any way I want, sort of a scratch pad. I'm going to go back into the Spot tab. And this is where I configure an option to trigger all the different integrations. In order to configure these integrations, like I said, there's no coding involved. All I have to do is simply select values from these drop-downs. There's a few required ones. These are denoted with the asterisk. I'll go ahead and come back a little bit later and talk about load templates. Let's go ahead and fill in these required fields. So for entity type, we have financial summary, org unit, portfolio, program, project, request, resource pool. I'll go ahead and work with financial summaries for this demo. Sub-entity type, I will choose project. And for file layout, I'm going to select periods as rows, as the actual source of the data will have it structured in that manner. Then we have data operation. So this is how we actually expect the update to occur. We can do a mass replacement, which is replace all, or we can choose create only. So if there is non-existent data within PPM, we'll create that. If there is existing data, we can do merge only, or we can do a hybrid, which is merge and create, which is what I'll select. Import mode, I will go ahead and choose actual load instead of simulated load. So once I've selected all the required fields, the magnifying glass or search icon becomes enabled. Go and choose desktop. Spot allows me to connect to almost any type of data source through Excel's built-in capabilities, relational databases, text files, XML files, etc. Additionally, the same Excel capability allows me to transform the data as needed, such as merging records before it gets imported. So the purpose of this demo, I'll go ahead and import these two CSV extracts that I have here that contain actual costs into PPM for existing financial summaries that currently contain forecast only. Once I've selected the files, Spot reads their contents and asks me to map their fields to PPM financial summary fields. I can use one of the saved mappings to skip this step. So I already have something that corresponds. I'll choose GL feed actuals. So the saved mapping also includes details on how to join fields to existing PPM records and whether to transfer them further prior to load. So down here, we have an example of multiplying cost by 1,000. Go ahead and proceed. So here's what Spot's just done. It's read the project IDs from the extracts, pulled the existing PPM data, then merged it with the data in the extract and highlighted all the cells it's modified. If need be, I can manually edit this data prior to the load. That includes splitting and merging lines, and Spot makes it really easy for me to do this by reading the PPM configuration, so it builds drop-downs as well as all these other field attributes. So for example, I click on expense type. This is corresponding to the actual validation for expense type in PPM. Go ahead and change it from operating to capital. And these same steps can be followed for other data sources. So now when I'm ready to send to PPM, I hit the save button. So right away it's telling me there's an error. So Spot validates the entire data set prior to the load based on a PPM logic. It's going to go ahead and highlight the bad cells in red once I click on OK. When I highlight those cells, I can see a little comment that displays that tells me what the exact issue is. So this project ID 1234 does not exist. And the value hardware bad also does not exist. So let me go ahead and remove these projects that don't exist in PPM and try again. Hit save again. The load is successfully complete. Spot always fully audits all the updates made up to the record level and allows me to view the audit trail. Now, what if I wanted to automate this whole process rather than select values from drop-downs each time? For that, we have something called data load templates. So this is kind of what I skipped above up here. So these data load templates store all the settings that are loads and allows me to trigger it automatically. So I clicked on the button and brought up the data load templates. So these are the templates I have where I can basically edit the actual template from this screen. Let's take a look at the audit trail from our prior load. So this is the completed load, and this is the complete audit trail down to the record level. Configuring these integrations from Excel doesn't mean manual integrations. Once my load templates have been created, I can also trigger them automatically and repeatedly from the outside, such as through the PPM report scheduler. So this means I can run these loads at any desired interval with zero manual interventions. So let me go ahead and switch to PPM. And before I go ahead and run this PPM report, let's imagine that I have the load template for importing issues from an external system like Jira previously set up from Spot. So I'll click on that and select on that external issues tracker load template. And click on submit. Okay, great. So the data load report completed, and I can see I have success where I've done a few updates to existing issues and also created a couple of new issues as well. So basically, I get the benefits of Excel for configuring loads and, if needed, also adding the data without losing the automation of server-side integration. I'm going to go back to my presentation. As you can see, this new product makes the challenging and expensive task of integrating PPM data easy yet robust. See how Spot can turn your PPM implementation from an island into an integral element of the IT landscape by contacting us at info@ppmetrics.com or visiting us at www.ppmetrics.com. Thank you.